All right, welcome back to the Principals Podcast. We have once again on the show, we have Mr. Hyam and Mr. Bandera. We're all wearing our hats today in the spirit of Mr. Joe Ritchie. Yesterday, he looked like $1 million. Today, he looked like Gilligan's Island. And also, we had people wearing hats such as Mr. Herner, who had the largest bucket hat we've seen. Um, we had a very busy day again today. A lot of meetings took place. I know that Mr. Hyam and Bandera were in 504 IEP meetings. There was also district meetings where we were able to see Dr. Hanlon and the entire district staff going through kind of the current state, where things are. A lot of information coming at our fingertips. Last night, I think many of you were able to see the town hall meeting with Governor DeWine, him talking about, Ohio, where we're at, being a leader in this pandemic. And there's tons of questions out there. We're still working on being able to stream this live on YouTube. One of the things that we're trying to figure out is one of the systems out there that can filter these videos. There used to be a great way to do it in Hangouts, but there's not so much anymore. Any of our techies out there can certainly contact us, and we'll make this happen. Because when we do YouTube lives, we'll make sure all three of us are on it so we can answer any of your questions and see some of your questions. We had a great time with staff today. Mr. Hyam was able to do a great Kahoot. And so later on in this communication, we're going to be talking about some questions. So, guys, how was your day?
My day was pretty good. Went by fast today, but I feel like I've been staring at the screen too long. So hopefully after this, I'm gonna, I don't know, try to get out of the house or at least maybe get outside or do something different just to stop staring at the screen. I feel like I'm a little fatigued from that today. Overall, pretty good day though. Got to join Mrs. Bunker's class this morning, so shout out to them. That was fun. At about 7:30 a.m., they all logged in and they were chatting about their days, and Mrs. Bunker was going to go over their daily lessons with them. So real good time there. And Mr. Hyam.
I feel you, Bandera. A little stir crazy. Feel like I got to get out of the house. Keep looking around this living room, and I feel like I got to paint it or something. I don't know. The long list of things are coming together for next week. Maybe I'm not sure, but one of those days. I feel like we just woke up and started, and all of a sudden you look, and it's almost 3 o'clock, and the day is flying by, but it's been exhausting.
I'm also waiting for Mr. Ritchie to send me my hat so I can match you guys. He said he's had some in the mail yesterday, so we'll see if I get that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
The mail's a little delayed, maybe through Amazon.
Maybe.
You guys, talk about being fatigued, and we all have our kids. We watch them. Mr. Hyam, you have your kids that are in Mentor doing the same type of thing. I know, Mr. Bandera, you can kind of go on your little Tykes bike with Anderson, and I have girls here working. We talk about like being fatigued, and it's so important to stay healthy. Like, what type of recommendations do you guys have for our kids and listeners out there to kind of choose some different paths in this new world that we're living?
Sure. I think it's great them seeing some people post pictures of them like riding a bike or getting out of the house. A little bit concerning today. I did see some pictures of a group of probably high school boys playing basketball today. Just be careful with that, guys. We're still trying to follow that recommendation of, no more than 10 people in an area, trying to keep your distance too. So just be careful if you're doing that sort of stuff. But otherwise, I like the physical activity. I like you guys getting outside. I like people riding their bikes. Some people are practicing for baseball and things like that in their basements, or, throwing with a parent at home, which is all great stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the more we can do at this time to slow the pace down is going to be important for all of us to get out there a little bit faster, enjoy the world that I think sometimes we take, for granted. Look outside. I'm like, boy, I just want to get outside and play some baseball and get with the kids, but we got to follow the directives so we can get out there even faster.
And I also, I think it's great when I'm seeing some people practicing their instruments, their singing, their choir, for choir things like that. It's a great way to separate themselves from the computer screen.
So we've been getting several emails from our parents and our students, and they've been doing a great job connecting directly with their teachers and administrators, and also guidance personnel. But some of the frequently asked questions we want to talk about, and we want to be able to kind of question and answer here today. So I guess I'll go to Mr. Bandera first.
Sure.
We have so many parents that are working at home now, and we have all the kids that they have in their house working also. That sometimes internet goes down, or things need to get happen, and sometimes our kids can't make it online. Can you explain a little bit of like what the expectations are with the schedule that we have?
Sure. Yeah, I think one of the best things is whenever there's a situation where you can't get online, when a teacher's asking you to get online, best thing you can do is communicate. And I think that's the strongest thing you can do. Make sure you're emailing your teachers. Make sure you're telling your teachers that something came up. We're all learning this. We're all in this together. We're all trying to figure out what we're doing with this. So it's important that you communicate what's going on. Um, there may be times where a teacher has planned something for you, and we're encouraging our students to really get on there at those times, making sure they're viewing what the teacher's done for them. But life happens. There's things that come up. I was supposed to be in a meeting today, and I was putting down my son for a nap. So those things happen, and we get that. Make sure you're just emailing your teachers. And again, our expectation is that you are participating when your teachers are asking, but if something comes up, just communicate with them.
Mr. Hyam, how is it that parents can access kind of the schedule, student content, like where to find this stuff?
Well, we got a great resource out there. It's the Teacher Resources for Students. It's also connected with the COVID-19 school calendar. It's right up on top. That's a great tool to go directly to. Each teacher is listed there. You click on the teacher and you can get into their information of how to access them. But at any time, if you're struggling or just feel overwhelmed, please reach out to one of the three of us or the counselors. The counselors are doing some phenomenal work, like they always do. We're so great, happy to have them part of our staff, and they're the glue that keeps everything together. So reach out to your counselors. Let us know how we can help you. The teachers are there. This is tough for them. This is not the norm of what they learned when they went to college and how to present material, but they're learning by the day. And quite honestly, I think we're going to be better for this in the long run when we get back to school.
Yeah.
So, guys, question about due dates. We have something out there for, today's dates and, March 19th. And on the side, it has potential due date for that particular class. What does that really mean for a student and potentially like parents when they're saying, how am I supposed to do this? Can you give kind of a rule of thumb of what that really helps both students and staff for?
Sure. I think students need to remember again that communication is key, but you're trying your best to get your assignments done before the next school day. You're working your best to do that. Understandably, things come up, and there may be things you have questions on you're not going to get done. We talked with teachers for a while about that today, and we said we talked about whether to mark something as missing or to put an A in or something, some way to mark it in the grade book so you know that you have to do it. Make sure you're doing your work. We always want to encourage that, to take the time to do the work the teachers are preparing for you. But I think everyone's going to have a little flexibility with their due dates right now. I think no one can hold you really accountable because things come up like internet issues or house issues or things like that. So communicate with your teachers again. Make sure they're understanding what's going on with you. You're understanding what's going on with them, and get the work in at the earliest ability that you can.
Yesterday,
I think
go
the
ahead.
first thing. Oh, I real quick. I think the first thing is your first thought is it's punitive from the teacher. If you see something there that's missing, or they're kind of put something there, it looks like a zero. It's not. Try not to take that first thought and feel like the teacher's against you. It's just them trying to maybe signify that something's missing. They want you to get started on it. Please reach out to the teacher, like Mr. Bandera said. Ask those questions, because quite honestly, they're starving to get back and work with you in person, and they'll love to help you in any way.
And I think one of the important things was every one of our teachers today said, I just mark it as missing, so I know it's not in, and I give the student a reminder that they still need to do this work. So get your work done, but have some flexibility there as well.
Today, the OHSAA, made this big hoopla that there was a 12 o'clock meeting and there was going to be a press conference. Can you sum up the 90 minutes in basically 3 words?
Well, the first 89 minutes was just the lay of the land we already knew, and then the last 60 seconds they basically say nothing new, no changes, kind of status quo. We're going to keep evaluating each day, kind of let the governor kind of guide us through this process. Mr. Bandera, did you hear anything different than that?
I unfortunately didn't get to listen to it, but in talking to Mr. Snyder for a few minutes today, that's pretty much what I heard as well, was that everything's still postponed right now. They never used the word canceled. They used the word postponed multiple times today. So all winter sports, and some of those some students had a tournament to go to. Those sports are postponed, and for our spring sports, those are postponed as well. You're also, again, strongly encouraged that this is a no contact period for all sports. So just make sure you're not having contact with any outside teams. It'd be very irresponsible for anyone to be doing that.
So, kind of in closing, a couple things. You have every grade level is going through their own emotions here. 8th grade all the way through a senior. Some of the things that seniors are telling us is that what does it mean for for prom, and what does it mean for graduation? What does it mean for my scholarships, and what does it mean for potentially not having these tests, and what does it mean for this, and what does it mean for that? Could you give any advice on really the things that really matter to them initially? Obviously grades, but maybe some indication of what prom could look like and potentially what graduation could look like, even when we don't have these answers?
Sure. We I actually started watching. It was on Facebook earlier today. It's Dear Class of 2020. It's a YouTube video, and I haven't made it all the way through it yet. But it talks about those things. As much as people say, "Oh, I don't like school" or whatever, I think everyone's craving that school environment right now, and they're craving that normalcy. Seniors, it's an exciting time. It's your 4th semester. It's that finish line that Mr. Murray always talks about that you have come to, and unfortunately, we're stuck in a different place right now than we would like to be, but we're, it is that 4th quarter. We're working hard to retain some of that normalcy as best we can. We don't know a lot right now, and that's the hard thing. We don't know if we're going to be back in the building, for graduation. We don't know if we're going to be back in the building for prom. We don't know if we're going to be in the building for those things. So we're working hard to have some backup plans. Do we have anything finalized yet? No, because we don't know. So our, right now, if everything continues as it is, our goal is to have our graduation and prom on time at the places they were scheduled for. As soon as we know something different, or as soon as another announcement is made by the governor or the president or whoever, we'll communicate that with everyone right away, so you can adjust your plans for those situations.
And like many of you know, my son graduated last year, and I will tell you, those are some moments that I'll never forget. And I will, and I know Murray and Bandera feel the same way. We will do anything and everything to make sure you have those moments and memories with your friends, your family, and with us. Quite honestly, we enjoy those moments as much as you guys. It is an extra day here and there, but we truly would never miss those moments for anything. So I'm sure Mr. Murray will echo that we will do anything and everything for you guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. They know how much we care about them. We love them. That's why we're doing what we're doing. You guys, in closing, let's kind of give some final remarks, kind of some shout outs for today. Any shout outs you want to give out from any of the emails, the meetings, the communications you've had? Shout outs.
My first one goes to Quinn Allen. Quinn was a big part of our Kahoot today, and he was a big part of my meeting this morning with Mrs. Bunker's class. Quinn, it was great to hear your voice. I appreciate that you know my schedule, everyone else's schedule in the world. If I could hire you as my secretary, Quinn, you'd be up there because you're great at following those schedules. So nice job, Quinn.
shout out to our counselors. I have a wife who's a school counselor, and I think I know what they do. But until you get in the trenches with them, the work that our school counselors are doing behind the scenes is phenomenal. Proud of all of them. Happy to work with them, and just keep doing the great things you guys are doing.
We showed you some of our hats today, guys. In all of your Google Meets tomorrow, do some screenshots and show us your hats. Let's call it a hat day tomorrow. We'll call it Hat Day Friday. We'll also have our meeting for our students in midday. We'll have our virtual High Five Friday tomorrow as well.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
I'm big on the virtual high fives. I'm very grateful for the staff for all the things that they're doing because this is a brave new world for them. In particular, though, I got an email from Mrs. Hagan. So Delaney, this one's out for you, and I know that you want this, so you can keep it forever and ever and ever. It's for you. I don't know if you can virtually grab this right now, but this one's for you. But that's the wrap of our show, guys. You want to do any special sign-offs?
Check us out at the Kahoot tomorrow, starting at 12:30. Mr. McGovern was the champ today, but I got a lot of people who want to take him down.
Happy birthday, Mr. McGovern and Mrs. Colcom and Mrs. Weaver today.
Happy birthday, guys.
Yeah, that's right. So, send us your birthday wishes. We'll certainly sing a happy birthday to you, and it would probably be the ugliest thing you've ever heard. But thanks again for being in tonight. If you have any requests of teachers coming into our interviews, we're going to try to go live so we can go to YouTube. Guys, great seeing you. Peace.
See you later.